Let's all rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Good morning, everyone. First thing we have on the agenda today are the approval of the minutes from last week, and Chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any changes or corrections to minutes? No. Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. First thing we have are new business, Waterworks.
Good morning. Steve Moore, Superintendent for Lafayette Waterworks. You have before you the engineering certified bid tabulation, bid evaluation letter for the Glick Wells number 6 and 7 project. Only one bid was received at the bid opening here on March 3rd, which was 169% higher than the engineer's original estimate. The award of the project was delayed in order to determine reasons why the bid was much higher than anticipated, whether to move forward with the project, and if funds were available to pay for the additional construction costs. Andrew Gordon from Wessler Engineering is here this morning to help me answer any questions that you may have related to the bid that we received from Reynolds Construction. After discussion with City Legal and the Controller's Office, the bond ordinance that was adopted for the upcoming water rate increase allows for reimbursements of any early cost needed to pay for the construction and non-construction costs incurred for this project. It was agreed to request approval from the board to move forward with the bid from Reynolds Construction in the amount of $3,715,000, and I recommend a notice of award for your approval.
Okay, let's go ahead and get this on the agenda. They won't discuss it. Is that okay, Steve? Chair, entertain a motion to approve this recommendation.
Move approval.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Steve, two questions.
Yes.
One is, was the engineer's estimate too low for this project?
Yes, but with reasons why, and like I said, Andrew is here and he could probably help answer
why
that a
don't we
little
talk about
better.
that, because 70% difference is a big difference.
I think the complexity of the project with this is in a floodplain and they have to build these towers. So it's metal fabrication, so that increases cost.
Uh-huh.
The electrical components that go into this construction ran the cost up beyond what the engineer's estimates were.
Okay.
As I understand it now, to drill in a little more technical on that, Andrew would probably be better to answer some of that, but
Well, I think that's a big difference, obviously, between the engineer's estimate and what the
Absolutely.
contract is. The second thing is we only have one bid.
yeah.
So and there's a reason, I know you know what the reason is, but is
Right.
there a reason we don't rebid the project?
Well, there was a couple of reasons. Number one, the need for these wells is increasing daily. Our demands are increasing. So there's the concern that if we rebid it, that we wouldn't get any bidders, or if we delay it any further, that the cost would come in even higher.
Okay.
And so it's a great need for these wells. I mean, we've already determined that. With what we've seen in increasing demands year after year, our demands are increasing, and our wells, some of the wells that we're pumping with now are quite old, and they break down a lot more than what they used to. So when they break down, we absolutely have to have something to replace those wells, because we could get ourselves into a position where we can't supply the
Okay.
demand.
Okay, those are my two questions. Anybody else have any other
I
questions?
don't know if Andrew has something he can add for your questions.
Andrew, do you have something you want to add to the issue on the engineer's bid?
Sure.
Something we can understand?
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. So good morning, Andrew Gordon with Wessler Engineering. I felt Steve did a pretty good job of explaining the need for the project. The engineer's estimate, the way that it was structured, was based on past bids and construction jobs. So we only know as much as what we have seen in the construction industry. Because there was one bid on this, we don't know for certain if that bidder, they did not admit to it, but they didn't disclose whether they knew that they were the only bidder or not. We had a pre-bid meeting where we met with potential bidders. We had up to 3 potential bidders with a number of subcontractors that were going to work under those bidders. And the 3 bidders that were potential, going to put bids into the project, one of them declined on bidding the project because they actually asked for their name to be removed from the plan holders list because they had too much work. And they found that out after they took plans out to
Okay.
see what the scope of the work was. The second bidder was vested. They told us they were going to put a bid in on it, and then last minute, they realized that they didn't have enough workforce, and they felt that they didn't have enough time to do the job. They did not voice that during the pre-bid meeting, so we didn't know that, and pulled out of it, just more or less along the lines of time. So I contacted them back and I said, hey, if you guys did get far enough in your bid process, what would you have bid on the project? And they did come back with a number that was within reason of what the engineer's estimate was. So that made us feel a little bit more comfortable that we were close. So now Reynolds' bid, which is $3.7 million, and our estimate was 2.2, there's a huge gap in relation to those two numbers. What we found out after talking to Reynolds was Reynolds had a number on electrical. Steve mentioned electrical. This is a medium voltage power source that powers your well field, so there's a lot more complexity to it. Reynolds had a number in there. The number they got from their electrical sub was $800,000 higher. So they automatically had a number that was a lot higher than what they were originally going to bid, which is beyond our control of determining that during our course of estimating the project. So there were a number of reasons why we found that their bid was a lot higher. We have already reached out to them for value engineering possibilities. They will not discuss anything in detail or with regard to how much less they can lower the costs of the project until they're awarded the project. So they have to be awarded the project first. But we will work with them. It's not going to be $1 million, though. It's going to be something that is going to be probably in the hundreds of thousands of dollars range is what we would achieve as far as cost savings. There is the urgency with moving forward with these 2 wells because these 2 wells are redundant. They are going to provide, as Steve mentioned, insurance to the city when you do have to take down one or several of your wells at your Glick well field, which has been an annual occurrence every year probably for the past 7-8 years.
Okay, thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it. Anybody have any questions?
Well, maybe back to Steve, I guess, almost all the time, we don't get requests like this because the city doesn't, we're just going to rebid, we're going to wait, whatever.
Right.
So it sounds like with a combination of low number of bidders, one, and great need, you've all done the calculus.
Yes,
So that's why you're here.
absolutely.
So it's not a typical thing that we would do to consider, but.
Now, this is something we've had many, many conversations on.
Right.
so.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And the need, is great.
We did have the discussion of rebidding the project.
Yeah,
It was
sure, I know.
discussed. And in the cover letter that's to the board, it mentions that we did seriously consider rebidding the project. But then the urgency with the new wells and then also the possibilities that prices could come in even higher or
Sure.
not have any interest at all would delay the project.
It's really being driven by the city's, our need to get this
Absolutely.
moving forward at a cost we don't like, but there you have it.
Correct.
So you said you were 1.5 million over the engineer's estimate,
It was 1.5 million, yes. Our estimate was 2.2.
and then you just described an $800,000 bump that you weren't expecting. What is attributable to the rest of that amount, that 700,000?
The additional gap, we understand that it could be profit, if the contractor wasn't really needing work at the time, then they raise their prices to what they feel, they would be comfortable with at the time of the bid. So as far as the additional 700,000 in there, we don't really have an exact details on what exactly those pieces, what that encompasses, I guess.
Andrew, thank you. Steve, thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
We have a motion, a second. Any further questions? This has been helpful to me to understand the dynamics of what's going on, so that helps. That's helpful. also the need for the well, for the wells.
Wells, yes.
And so I think that's the big deal. The redundancy is huge. I mean, we don't,
Yeah.
big deal.
What's the timeline again?
These, 270 days to substantial completion, so around Thanksgiving, we could
Yeah.
have these wells pumping water into our system.
Okay, thanks.
So we have any further questions or comments?
No.
Okay. We have a motion, a second, to approve this $3.715 million project with Reynolds Construction. No further discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thanks, Steve, for that.
Thank you. Next, you have before you change order number 2 from Atlas Excavating to increase the contract amount for the lead service line replacement project by $110,963.35. This is due to additional mobilization, demobilization, and construction delays. Contractor had to complete 2 remobilization trips due to right of entry agreements that were received by the city from property owners after the contractor had already demobilized, so they had to come back remobilize. Construction work progress was also affected due to the delay of right of entry agreements. Some of them were coming in delayed, slowly getting those right of entries to do the work. Change order also adds a new unit price pay item to the project to Atlas to complete lead service lines underneath homes on concrete slabs, which were not originally anticipated at the start of the project. So, I recommend a change order number 2 for your approval.
Okay, let's get this on the table. Chair, entertain a motion to approve change order number 2 with Atlas Excavating for this amount of $110,963.35. Second? Moved in second. Anybody have any questions on this? Right of entry, that's interesting to me. I mean, does that happen very often with you, where you have delays on that?
Well, I don't know, this is our first rodeo on this, but Jackie may, yeah.
I'll help with that because our office is kind of taking the lead on obtaining the right of entry. So this is a unique project in the fact that we actually are doing replacement of the lines from the meter into the house. And because of that, we have to coordinate and have permission from the property owners in order to do so, which has been more challenging than was expected. So we are actually getting ready to move into the next phase of the project. So we have been actively brainstorming on how to enhance our program to try to get right of entries, to make it more timely. We're addressing it in the next phase to avoid issues with the contractor, trying to do mobilization, demob when they have to move around. So it was this first one was a learning experience. We've got many more phases to go, and so we'll keep improving as we move along.
So you've seen more, you didn't expect it?
I
How many have?
I expected to have a much higher success rate in getting the right of entries returned than what we did, since there is no cost to the property owner. We are dealing in a neighborhood right now that's a lot of rentals and things like that. We're not sure if that's part of the issue, but we are doing things to make it more approachable and understanding for some of the marketing material that we're putting out to the residents. Steve, actually, I don't know if you saw it, starred in an amazing lead service line replacement video to actually show the process. Which actually I think is really helpful, and we're going to be really pushing that out so people can see what does this mean when we're coming in and doing it.
The owner can say no.
And they can say no, and they can say no. That they're not getting their lead service line replaced for free, but they can say no. So.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie.
If they say no, is there disclaimers to let them know that, I mean?
Yes, we actually do. If they do say no, and then we mark it in our utility billing system, because under the lead and copper rules, we're obligated, if that property ownership ever changes, to re-engage in the conversations to try to get the lead service line replaced.
Okay.
It's math. You can't even imagine the tens of thousands of hours we spent trying to contact people, phone calls, text, letters,
Yep.
Yeah.
door to door, door hangers, people don't turn stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Throw it away.
Gotta be
We spent
frustrating.
Tens of thousands of hours on this.
Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. So we have a motion, a second, to approve this change order number 2 with Atlas. Any further questions? Those are all helpful discussions.
What area is phase 2?
Phase 2, I believe, starts just, is it just south of Salem Street, I think?
Could be,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. We're all
And-
moving from the north
Yeah.
to the south.
Yeah, we're moving north, yeah, we started in the
Yeah.
Monon neighborhood and working our way south, and I believe the line is just south of Salem Street. And just this side of Erie and working our way south.
So, I mean, so the number of the people who want it and are good with it far outweighs the,
Yeah, and I don't think it's an issue of people not wanting it. I think it's
Just
just
the
trying to
communication.
get the attention of the people in a way to get them to understand what we're doing. But I don't know exactly what percentage we were at. If I had to guess, I'd say we were probably around a 65 to 70% collection
was-
ratio.
867 in phase one, and we completed 580, I
Yeah.
think, at this point.
Yeah.
So, and like Jackie said, there's some people just, even with how much media there has been about the
Yeah.
issues with lead service lines and the health issues associated with that, some people are still just finding out about it for the first time because they're just still unaware of it and unaware of how much of a benefit it would be to have somebody else pay for that service line replacement that could cost, what, 3,000 to 5,000
Yeah,
maybe?
about 3,000 to 8,000 is
Yeah.
the estimate.
Just think of the
for-
market value of the house.
Yeah,
Think
so.
of the impact of that, not having lead.
Because some people, after you've reached them for the second or third time, then they say, oh, yeah, well, how quick can you do it? When they decline the first couple of times when you talk to them. So we've had a lot of those too, so.
Sure, I bet you have, yeah.
Yeah,
Now
so-
that I understand it,
Yeah.
please do it now.
Yeah, once they have an understanding, hey, this could have health
Yeah.
risk to our family, and it's not gonna cost me anything, I just have to let them in for a few, and I think the inside connection is an hour or less of work, and it's done by a licensed plumber.
Yeah.
And so, it's not really intrusive into their home, most of them are easily accessible, and the licensed plumber's in and out of there in less than an hour. Once you get an opportunity to have a conversation with people and explain those things to them, then they're pretty hot about getting it done, so.
I bet they are. Okay. Okay, so we have a motion, a second to approve this. Any further comments or questions?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you. Purchasing.
Good morning, Jeremy Deal, City Controller, acting on behalf of Purchasing Manager Dave Payne. This is a modification of a award request to move the contract to provide sodium fluoride from the current awardee, Bell Rock Chemical, to Water Solutions Unlimited. The contract for sodium fluoride was initially awarded to Bell Rock on January 20th. Dave Payne had conversations with the provider subsequent to the award, and during the course of those conversations, discovered that the ability of Bell Rock to provide the sodium fluoride on a timeline that the city needed was unlikely. And so Dave would like to recommend that we rescind that award and place that instead with Water Solutions Unlimited, who was the next lowest bidder and can provide the sodium fluoride on the timeline that the city requires.
Okay, let's go ahead and get this modification of award. Chair, entertain a motion to approve this modification award as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
So we did this a couple weeks ago with another bid. Was it different than this one?
Well, the award was initially placed with Water Solutions Unlimited incorrectly. There was a clerical oversight, and Bell Rock was actually the low bidder.
Gotcha, okay.
So
that's-
that was
that's-
corrected.
Okay, all
The
right.
contract was moved to Bell Rock, but now we're finding that they may
Yeah.
not be able to provide it.
Gotcha, okay, all right. All right, we have a motion to approve this modification of award. Anybody have any other further questions?
Yeah, having been in similar positions in my past, is there ever consideration to when a low bidder that has submitted a bid in good faith and been accepted, and then we come across information we need to go to the next low bidder, where we may investigate the lowest bidder's bid bond for the cost difference? I understand we may choose to do that, and we may not choose to do that. Has that been considered? Is it even an option?
I'm not
in
sure
this
we're
case?
even getting bid bonds for chemical bids, are we?
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, and I think the price difference between the two in this circumstance was very nominal. It was a price difference, but it's not, you're not talking thousands and thousands of dollars.
Well,
It was a
we
pretty
didn't have
close,
that,
yeah.
So I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it is an interesting, idea, but nothing that we've discussed on this, and I agree, I don't know if we do bid bonds on the chemical bins.
Well, the concern would be, we never had a problem before, but if you do require a bond, you may limit your bidders. There's people that are, I mean, anyway, so there's goods, you know, benefits and drawbacks from everything, so. Okay, we have, thanks, Eric, appreciate that. We have modification of this award, a motion and second. Anybody have any further comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, thanks. You're not done yet, are you?
No, I'm not. Fleet Maintenance Department would like the board to declare surplus 3 pieces of equipment, a 2004 Sterling tandem dump truck, a 2008 Henderson snowplow, and a 1998 Monroe salt box. These items are irreparable, and we'd like to declare them as surplus for scrap.
They can't be irreparable, I like that. Okay, we have, Chair entertain a motion to approve this declaration of surplus property.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
anybody have any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, thank you.
Thank you. And then lastly, the Fleet Maintenance Department has also presented a 1999 John Deere 6310 tractor that we'd like to declare as surplus equipment.
So you can trade it in.
Yes. or-
Chair entertain a motion to approve this declaration of surplus property.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, thanks, thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Okey dokey, we have claims.
We do. The Controller's Office has reviewed claims totaling $10,003,095.22. And I respectfully request the board's approval to pay these claims.
Chair entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second. Moved in second. Anybody have any questions?
Jeremy, I had one. Yeah. It's the same vendor and not questioning the payment. It's trying to recall what the process is. This one's on page 22, Indiana Department of Transportation. That is an NDOT match.
Yes.
There's that one, and there's another one, the same thing, further down in the list. And what's the process?
So
there? Just-
the first one on 22, this is a portion of the NDOT grant match for the South 9th Street project that is being paid from governmental funds. The other claim you see is further back, and
Page
that's
20.
being paid from Renew for the storm sewer curbs and gutters that are part of that project. So that's being paid from enterprise funds, the 4.8 million. So this 3.788.
It's an 80/20, it's federal highway funds.
Now that you're saying that, I recall that being part of the discussion earlier. Just forgot. Thank you.
Jeremy, is that the one on page 29?
Yes.
Okay. I had a question on that. I have a question on page 6, big 16, and toward the bottom of Elevate Technology Partners. This is just more curiosity than anything. Mattel Phone System Programming and Assistance, what phone system is that?
That's the citywide
Okay.
telephone system.
All right, thanks.
Mitel.
Okay, anybody else have any questions on claims? Okay, we have a motion and a second to pay the claims. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We have 2 miscellaneous event requests. First is Easter community event. Is there somebody here from, yeah, step up and state your name, please?
Hello, I'm Marquita Evans. I am here on behalf of Greater Macedonia Church of God in Christ. We are hosting an Easter event for the community, and we were wanting to have a street blocked off, a sidewalk actually, blocked off for the event because we are expecting about 200 people to show up. And we are doing this for the community as a whole, so anyone is welcomed. And
Okay.
Yeah.
This is obviously on the 4th, right?
yes,
And you're talking about 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. closing that area?
Yes.
You're talking about, okay. Well, appreciate you being here. Chair, entertain a motion to approve this special event request.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Anybody have any questions on this?
No.
Again, as the mayor said earlier, I hope you have good weather, and thanks for being here. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same
you.
sign, thank you. And then we have Food Finders, a banner request for Food Finders. And Chair, entertain a motion to approve this banner request. Second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Mary, have anything today? Okay, that's our agenda for today. This meeting is adjourned. Thanks.